Have you ever watched a medieval times documentary or a fantasy movie where some of the characters are using a bow that looks a little bit different from what we see today? Maybe you saw something that looks like, pretty uninspired, like a stick with a bit of string on it. Well, what you probably saw is the traditional longbow, otherwise known as the English longbow. This is a bow that is, quite simply, a stick and a bit of string, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So this bow here, I don't quite remember what it's made out of, but back in the old days, they were made out of yew and tied with a string, because yew is a very bendable wood, so it would bend like this and curve and make it be able to fire. The first recorded sighting of an English longbow was in Wales in 1188, so the longbow originates from Wales. They usually have a draw weight of 150 to 180 pounds. This one here is 30 because I'm just starting out, so I'm not quite there yet. The effective range was about 450 to 1,000 feet, with 150 feet per second that the arrow would travel. These were preferred over crossbows of the time because they are a lot faster to load and they have a much longer range. So the longbow stayed pretty relevant for hundreds and hundreds of years. When it was first discovered, it was primarily used by peasants for hunting, and then it was adapted for military design, where it became a lot stronger and a lot bigger into what we see now. So to go into the technicality of how to shoot one, which I'm going to demonstrate today, it's pretty simple. It's one of the easy to learn, hard to master kind of things. So as you see here, on this red bit of string here, this is where you'll put your arrow with the little notch here. You'll put the arrow right above that, like so. So you're fitting the arrow right in there. There's a little notch in the arrow too that goes around the string. And then you're resting the arrow on your knuckle here, and then you're using your top two fingers and the third finger below it to pull the string back. So when you're about to shoot, right now both of my feet are facing the camera because I am facing the camera, and I'm going to shoot in this direction. So my body's facing this way, I'm going to look this way, I'm going to pull the arrow to my cheek and then release. When you shoot, you want to aim with your top knuckle. It's a little tricky to get used to. It's more of a, you start to feel it the more you practice, so don't get used to, sorry, my hands are cold. Don't get used to hitting the target consistently when you first start. What I have on me now are leather gloves to help me shooting. I have been practicing today, and this has taken a couple takes, so my hands started to get a little cut up from the arrows, which is normal. When you want to start out, you probably want leather gloves like this. These are for helping me pull the string so it doesn't hurt as much, and this is to protect the top of my hand. As you can see, it's pretty cut up there. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Pull it to your cheek and then release. With me here on my belt, I have an arrow quiver. Pretty simple. I have about 8 arrows in it. Helps me hold my arrows and I can shoot them. But other than that, it's a fairly simple hobby to get into. My girlfriend and I both bought longbows last year at a Ren fair because we took a class for it and we loved it. So we've been doing it ever since, whenever we can, when the weather permits it. And it's just a fun hobby to get into, do something outside, and I plan on doing it for a very long time now. It's a lot of fun. All right, I'm Beavers, and thanks for watching.